because it does touch on him, is the end of the streak, where, you know, they have the match with him and Kevin Nash, and all the shenanigans that go into it, the run-ins, the cattle prod, all of those things. A lot of people very outspoken about it. I have my opinions about it. What are your thoughts on it as a guy who's there working the undercards and seeing Goldberg on top and seeing the streak come to an end like that? Give me your thoughts on that.
And it goes back to what we said earlier. Looking back on it now, at the time I was like, what the hell? Looking back on it now, I still say, what the hell? But it was the powers that be. It was what they convinced everybody in that room that this was the right thing to do, and everybody do their job. And I think for all the buildup and everything that happened, I thought it sucked for it to end that way. I thought it was less, I don't know, the effect wasn't, I think it kind of diminished it a little bit. But at the end of the day, after that night, it wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? I think there could have been a creative way. There was a lot of smart people in that company that I think could have came up with a better way to end the streak or get that across. But they had the reins, and this was the way they wanted to do it, and they felt like it was the right way. And this goes back to our conversation. I'm not politically correct. I can't. I wish I could sit here and go, I'll tell you what's wrong with this, and I can't, because it didn't affect me. And I think that's the thing that kept me around for so long, is I stayed out of the things that didn't affect me. Mm-hmm. You know, but as far as wrestling, it still did its job. I mean, it still had people talking. I just, as a fan of that streak and being a part of it from start to finish, I would have liked to seen it change. But clearly, it didn't hurt Bill or Big Kev or anybody else. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that, and I don't get to talk about a lot of people with this. I don't get a lot of, the ex-WCW guys on here. Maybe we should reach out to more of them, because, like, I love WCW, and I just think that, for me, it's not so much the person who ended it, because I think Kevin at the time was at his most over. I think the Wolfpack, right. I remember, we were, my baseball team, we were all wearing Wolfpack shirts under our jerseys and stuff. It was over. It was like maybe one of the most over things, maybe as over as Goldberg at the time. And I don't think Kevin was the wrong guy. I just think that the way it all came about, that it was so convoluted, that it easily could have thought of something better. And then following it up with the finger poke shenanigans the night after, I just think that was the coup de grace that,
that gives you the whole layout of how things really were going. I mean, it was a struggle, man. It was a struggle for a lot of guys to come in every day, and a lot of guys, and I say this respectfully, but there was a lot of guys in the back who weren't on that level, that were caught up in that stuff and voicing opinions and stuff that I believe hurt them in the long run as well. Yeah. Because it didn't affect you. You may have an opinion on it, but keep it to yourself and don't get in the middle of this. Like, none of those circles were my circles, so I just stayed the hell out of it. I mean, I'm sure I would have had a different opinion if I was in the storylines or something like that, but I think Kevin was the right guy, but I think you used the right word. It was just convoluted. There was too much of this, and that, and then followed up the next night with the finger poke, and so it kind of made everything wonky. It kind of but that was the tone of what was going on behind the scenes. That was the tone. Russo cutting that promo and all that other stuff, and that was the tone, because every week, every month, we had a different boss. There was a new booker. There was a new head of this, and one guy left, the other guy came back. That guy left, the other guy came back. So it was a three-man booth between Sullivan, Russo, and Bischoff for so long that the in-betweens was everybody's like, screw it, I'm doing what they want. What are they going to do, fire me?
Yeah, and I mean, I can imagine having the different bosses, having their talent that